Once you grasp this truth that I'm about to tell you, it'll set you free from religion. It'll set you free from parents and moms and family and governments and police, everybody. It'll set you free. And it's simply this: you are divine. God has exploded in a Crab Nebulae explosion, and he has come and manifested himself as billions of people. And you're one of you, and so am I. When I look at you, I see God. When you look at me, you see God. That's why God's name is I Am. I am God. It doesn't mean that me, God. It means I am. When you say I am God, you have to say, what is God's name? I am. What? I am God. Oh my God, then all the people, Christians run around, oh, I told you they think they're God. I don't think anything on the side. No, Jesus Christ said, the scripture says you are God, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said it.
Yeah, like I'm not third album.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I will be discussing the new moon in Pisces happening on March 10th at 20 degrees. This is the last new moon of the astrological year before we hit the astrological new year. Everyone will feel this in some way, but Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Gemini will feel this the most. That's the mutable signs. And 20 degrees is a Scorpio degree. So we can be reflecting on what needs to change and reflecting on transformation, what we're changing about our goals and beliefs, what we're letting go. This could represent endings, releasing, and the need to let go of old baggage, stepping back and being able to look at things from a different perspective or a higher perspective, like the Phoenix rising with Scorpio energy. What we're afraid of, we can be asking ourselves, or it can come to light what we are afraid of, what's holding us back. This could be worrying about what others think, because Pluto is currently in Aquarius and Pluto rules Scorpio. And so there's that theme is being played out in some way. But Pluto pushes you to go through something. And because it's a new moon, this could be new experiences, to experience it and to learn from it. Especially with Pisces energy, Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces, and Pisces, Jupiter is all about experiencing something through walking a mile in that position in that way. And this is also a way of learning. It's not, you don't just learn through education and school. In fact, with the way this system's set up, I don't think you really learn much from it. But I think the school of hard knocks is where the real education is. And Mercury will be in Aries. And so this can be about being brave, having brave ideas, sharing brave information. You know what I'm noticing about Pluto energy that's really awesome, especially during this time, is the ability to hold information. Pluto can act like a conductor that, you remember in X-Men when the Phoenix, I think they was up in the sky. I think this was the last one. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's the last one they did on the Phoenix. And she was the one who was asked to go out and hold this big explosion or prevent this big explosion from happening in the sky that could perhaps kill the entire world. Like, this is what I've been thinking about lately is how powerful Pluto is in that way when you know when it's time to step away from something. Or if somebody's blowing up on you, when you know how to operate Pluto energy, you have this really firm, grounded ability to sit still and not allow somebody else's frustration, anger, or anything. It doesn't even have to be negative to affect you and what you're doing. This is what I feel like this Pisces new moon is going to be asking us to do. Don't let the distractions distract you. And this being at a Scorpio degree, I think Pluto in that way can really help people have that ability to just kind of sit back and be like, okay, if that's what you want to do, I'm going to keep doing this over here, which is going inward, looking at your fears, looking at your trauma, looking at what isn't working for you, assessing it, researching it, diagnosing it, healing it, and healing in general, being able to kind of lick your own wounds and tell yourself that this too shall pass. Everything is going to be okay. Um, and sitting with that, being able to sit with that, sitting in something that might be really, really, really uncomfortable. Um, and but doing the work. Pisces can be some kind of spiritual practice, seeing somebody, speaking to somebody, or whatever it is that you do, or however this is playing out for you, healing whatever that is. And so new moons are a time to set new intentions. This is um a new start or opening up to a new dream. um Pisces energy can bring in floods, tides, rains, crying, emotions, feeling sorry for others, feeling sorry for yourself, feeling lost or confused. And the stellium of Pisces energy is going to kind of amplify that energy. And so it could be a little dramatic and over the top, people expressing their emotions can be a little dramatic and over the top. Um, or a lot more still and unbothered. That's how I think about Pluto energy. Pluto really has the ability to help you be extremely unbothered by anything. And then this is a super new moon, and super moons just mean that the moon is a lot closer to the earth, and so we'll feel it a lot more intensely. And so that's also going to be adding to this energy, which can be, again, a lot over the top, um, a little extra. And on an even bigger scale, this is preparing us for the Pisces eclipse that we're going to have in the fall, which I think is very interesting that we'll still have Saturn there. Neptune is still there, but it'll be at the late degrees of those placements at that time. So really, really, really wrapping something up, letting something go. So I would write down right now whatever's happening for you throughout this Pisces season. And when 6 months comes, I think it's about 6 months. Don't quote me on the time frame, just the fall. Next eclipse season, when that eclipse comes, look at your notes and see how much has changed or how much you've released and let go of. Pisces rules innocence, purity, and guidance, understanding and compassion, humility. I think is going to be a really big one. Sympathetic. This could be jobs because it's the opposite is Virgo. So rest assured that work in some way, shape, or form is going to be pulled into this. I did talk about this. I think if it wasn't in the Virgo full moon, it was definitely the last video that I did. Um, we cannot ignore that Virgo energy. Virgo is going to play a really big role, especially with Mercury, which is the ruler of Virgo, being in Aries. Virgo themes are also going to play a really big part in whatever's coming up for us at this time. And so jobs, hospitality, people who help, healers, nurses, veterinarians, grooming services, because Virgo rules like hygiene. So it could be a grooming service for a pet for sure, but any kind of grooming service, or services that sell grooming products, right? Those can be in high demand. Health, spiritual centers, healing centers, isolation, a sacrifice is definitely going to have to be made here. Hospitals, prisons, camps, mental and emotional health, sleep, dreams, the subconscious mind. Again, feeling lost, confused, fogginess, not seeing things clearly, or a lack of direction, um, which is where the weather comes in. We can have some really crazy weather. I suspect rain, April showers bring May flowers, right? So, with the weather shifting into the spring, I think we'll have a lot of rain. Um, or it could be anything, but definitely weather for sure can come up prominently. Also, um lack of clarity, lack of direction, illusions, delusions, even being awakened to those things. Now, you might have a sweet illusion with Venus moving into Pisces a few days after this new moon. Not all illusions or delusions are bad. Sometimes you need a reality to kind of drift away from the bullshit. Um, I talk about this a lot when I say I live in my head. This is my delusional world in my head. It helps me get through this fake ass three-dimensional realm because, you know, there's a lot going on down here that's fake to me. So, not all delusions are bad. But it could be clearing the air or the cloudiness of delusions and illusions that you have around Pisces, Virgo, and even Scorpio themes. Then because Pluto's in Aquarius, this could be around your friends and groups that you belong to, and things that are just like they're not authentic. They have absolutely nothing to do with what you really want, and you can find yourself separating from those things or getting clarity because you've separated from those things. On the opposite hand of that, this could be about being in a relationship with somebody and having a breakup, and coming getting some kind of clarity from a delusion that is not real, whatever that is. It can be anything, like, you know you realizing that that person is not really who they say they are, but you're just caught up in their love spell or the idea of being in love. I mean, it could be all kinds of types of things, but that's just an example. It also rules mental health, prisons, um, being in your head, addictions, um, signs, symbols, synchronicities, faith, spiritual practices, retreats, and it could be travel, and some fashion. Pisces rules travel because again it's related to Jupiter. Um, and so this can be about different cultures coming together. Again, because Jupiter is playing a really big role in this, because it'll sextile this new moon. Jupiter rules immigrants, laws around that. Um, it could also be higher education, spiritual law, federal law, um, travel, long distance travel things outside the country, or just global events in general. Your worldview can be changing, your beliefs, ethics, morals can be changing, or you're just seeing them differently. Any kind of religious practices, this can also represent as well. And so we can see a lot of people from different cultures coming together for a bigger purpose, especially if there's like some really big hurricane or wave type thing or tsunami type thing, like to give back or to help those specific people who are going through that get through that from a loss of, property and things of that nature. This can represent religious or spiritual leaders coming together. This can be mental health professionals coming together to help us, to teach us, to guide us through difficult challenges. Um, Getting active and actually doing something instead of preaching about the changes that need to be made. This really made me think about like the conversations that I have with my dad and how I think a lot of us struggle with this in general. Like, even though we might say we're not religious, a lot of us grew up with religious backgrounds. And the one thing that I think I always relate to when it comes to religion is that the reason why people don't like religion is because they're preachy, but there's no action being taken. Like, what are you really doing for the community instead of being like a preacher who has like this nice ass car, you got a nice house, and your family's succeeding and doing well off the backs of people who have come into your church and made tidings and all that other stuff. But what are you really doing for the community to change the community and really teaching us what that is and putting those into practical steps. And I think a lot of us struggle with that, even if we're not religious, because we come from a religious background when it comes to really taking action on our goals and taking practical steps to make those goals or dreams become a reality. And that's something that I think the religious community is going to get a big hit on the head for. What are you really doing to change the community? Um, I think it's a tall ask. You know, yeah, you can have advice, but not everybody takes advice. And so it really needs to be a cultural change. I think this problem is bigger than just blaming it on somebody to fix it for you. That could be another theme that comes up, especially with Saturn and Pisces. Saturn, even on the lower expressions of Pisces, it's very victim mentality. I'm not getting what I deserve. Let's go march and march to the city hall and make them make this change. How about you make that change? How about that part? Right? Especially with Aries energy coming in and Aries being in the North Node, is like take accountability for some of the stuff that's not working out for you too, not just blaming it on these other people, which, let's be really clear, they are playing a role in that, and that's in some form of fashion. But when you see that somebody's not doing anything for you after 2 3 years and nothing's changed, well, after that, you can't really blame that person that much anymore. It's up to you to notice that a change has not happened. And so change your environment, change the people you hang with, change your habits and patterns, change your action and status. And, I think that's going to be, I think it's going to be tough. I do. And I actually think once Jupiter moves into Gemini, it's going to be even worse, because I feel like a lot of um, people these migrants the people who are coming in from other countries, that's going to be the civil war, is that we're going to find ourselves fighting them because they're getting all the resources. But y'all had those resources for years, though. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not saying that it's not these people's fault. But after the third or fourth or fifth year, at some point, something you should have noticed something's not changing. What did you do to change too? It can't just be the fault of these programs, the government, and all that other stuff. It's gonna go both ways, you know. And I've been talking about this for a long time, that this reality check was gonna come. And you know, what are you doing? And look, family, change takes a long time when you've been doing something 5, 10, 6 years. You know what I mean? And so um the struggle's going to be there. The sacrifice is definitely going to need to be made to get through the struggle, because mentally you're still doing things in an old way and having dreams about doing things in a new way. That's going to take a lot of work to change. I'm speaking from personal experience with that. I think I've been on this spiritual journey for what? Since 2010, 2011, maybe even earlier than that. And the more I learned, the more I was like, fuck, like this is hard. It is not easy. And I'm only just now meeting half of my goals. Not all, because there are still some things that I have to undo, but even that, goals take time. Nothing happens overnight, you know? And so this is definitely going to be a process. This is definitely a bigger issue than just right here, right now. But you know, start having those kinds of conversations with yourself, to make the changes. Um, yeah. And another theme could be ritual baths and cleansing from the inside out. And so this could be detoxing, changing your eating habits, dieting, um, and then doing the outside of your body with like sea salts and bath salts and, you know, whatever, all that stuff they got for like spiritual cleansing and things of that nature. This would be a really good time to kind of start your spring cleaning, if you will. Um, this could also be free of preconceived notions, religious beliefs, culture, and societal norms. Um, being of service to others, spiritual guidance and protection, transcendence. That's a big one. When I think of transcendence, I think of cathartic experiences. Hold on, you guys. Let me hold, please. Okay, sorry about that. So, this could also be like cathartic experiences. And I think I've used the example of like when I was in my bachelor's program, I took lots of art classes, and there was this one class called psychotherapy. And it's so hard to describe like what that is. It's an experience. And as I was going through that experience, it was pretty much based off of using group therapy as a therapeutic process, and ancient rituals and cognitive thought processes, and just sharing things about yourself, working with somebody, showing how others are projected or how we are related to what we project out into the world. I wish I could narrow it down to one specific thing, but that class was, I mean, it would take me a whole hour to explain it in depthly, but cathartic experiences is basically going through something that changes your life forever, changes your view forever. Having some kind of experiences that you don't see, you don't see it, you feel it. You know, going through something that's like, yo, when I walked into this, I would have never thought that that specific outcome would have been the outcome. And now I don't look at life the same anymore because of what I went through. This could be like people who go through the drug and alcohol, the AA program. You'll hear a lot of people speak in very cathartic experiences like, um, wow, this really changed my life following those 12 steps and making sure I go to group every night and, you know, whatever. It changes the way they think about their addiction, their experiences through hearing other people's stories and things of that nature. Um, and it happens on a very subconscious level. You don't really know what to expect when you go into it, but when you come out, you're like, "Ooh, that was deep." I will never, ever look at a person who has a drug and alcohol problem the way that I did before. Now, time, change, you know, those things are all relative, you know, but for the most part, you will always come back to that thought, like, but I remember when I went to group and blah, 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 you know, and you'll address it from that until it becomes a habit and, you know, a way of life, you know. Um, this could also be through therapy, um, through your subconscious and other realms. This could be things like law of attraction through visualization and healing your soul. I talked about this when I talked about the business course that I took. Um, um, at the end of the business course, so we spent the whole entire course building up our dream and what we saw for ourselves for our business. And then afterwards, we had real artists come in and draw out our dream. And I had this big poster with that dream on there. And I wish I could remember a timeline, but I hung that poster up in my bedroom. And I remember one day I was sitting down and it was long after I had gotten out of that class, and I was just in a really bad mood. I was having a shitty day that day, and I was talking to my mom on the phone and just venting. And I looked up and I happened to look at that poster. I was like, oh my God, but I did accomplish my dreams. Like there really is no need for me to be this sad. Like I had accomplished everything on that poster. Unbeknownst to me, like I don't even remember it. It was so subconscious. It was just like a part of what I was going through at that time. When I tell you God don't make no mistakes, like I have tons of stories like that too, you guys, like tons of stories like that. When you get on this spiritual journey, like he really shows up for you. It's very Piscean. It's really dope. I really like I like this new moon. I'm looking forward to whatever it comes to. But these could be the types of things that you're experiencing. It could be dreams that you're having dreams and you have deja vu um of a dream that you had or vice versa. Um you can have a dream about something and it can be down the line soon, later. Timing is relative, but and then you be sitting and like, yo, didn't I have a dream about that shit? That's deja vu. You know, you could see signs, symbols, and synchronicities about something that you've dreamed about or spoken about or anything, especially with Scorpio and Aquarius energy is very relative to having these kind of experiences. Um, another thing this can be is like you don't have to see it to believe it. You know, focus on how it feels, what it smells like, especially with Jupiter and Taurus is always about the senses, the five senses, right? What it looks like. Um, and cut away the things that are holding you back from that. The self-undoing, the isolation, the lack of faith or belief, you know, get away from everyday responsibilities, rest, sleep, retreat, You know, don't fight this energy. If you feel tired, go to sleep. If you feel like resting and relaxing, rest and relax. If you feel like taking a bath, take a bath. You know, don't um ignore the feelings that you're having, because 9 times out of 10, you are going to have some moment that's going to show you that you're really not as far away from your dreams as you may think. Something is about to come to fruition, and we'll see that in April and May, I think, with the eclipse season. This could also be like on the world stage. This could be like unexpected attacks on water or anything around Navy activity, submarine stuff, failures of something like a breakdown, like electrical or some kind of water shortage, or I don't know how they generate water generators or something. This could be hacks into the system, utility systems. On a person level, this is like whether people feel safe emotionally, specifically with Pisces, and and whether they feel healthy. Um, Talks of another variant or fear through propaganda around another variant or some kind of thing. With Pisces getting ready to be the new eclipse cycles, Pisces and Virgo, you could rest assured there's going to be another some kind of sickness coming. I hate to say that. I'm not trying to fearmonger anybody, but unfortunately, that could be a very real truth. And so, you know, this could be about supporting the small businesses, going to farmers markets to get more vegetables, getting more healthy, and people are going to start to realize it's not within Star Market or you know, these big brands. Unfortunately, it's going to be support the small businesses, um, help not just to help keep them open because their food's more pure. It's probably most likely coming from somewhere where they've grown it and they didn't alter it, or you know, stuff like that. Um, and then the sextile, Jupiter will sextile this new moon, which is abundance, healing, financial growth, self-esteem, again, eating habits, beauty, art, rewarding yourself, being grounded, feeling stable, the simple life, patience, to build and grow something. Um, yeah. It'll also, the new moon will conjunct Uranus. And in short, Uranus is very anxiety provoking. This could be loneliness, the lack of emotions, and so you could be realizing that you lack emotions and it's pushing people away from you. So people are isolating or ghosting or, you know, whatever. And you're going to sit there and ask yourself and wonder, why are people leaving? Is it something about me? And having this kind of realization of something that needs to change around that. Um, Bored in relationships. I think this theme is going to be huge. We'll talk about this when Venus enters Pisces. I got something to say about it. This could be feeling like you're in a prison instead of a relationship, that leads to cheating or revenge in relationships. But the goal is to let go of any jealous, vindictive energy and learning how to be more faithful and faithful to your dreams, learning how to be fair. Um, this could be fear of abandonment. Are you in a relationship because you don't want to be alone? Um, Releasing the need to want to fight in relationships, or Scorpio 20 degrees is about getting to the root cause of a problem, the root cause of any health issues. And so definitely more Ayurvedic, is that how you say it? Natural healing modalities here for sure. Like, you know, those things, especially with Mercury being in Aries, it's very spiritual. Is this the what do you call this when people do this? What are these things they tell you, all those kinds of things. This is alchemy, you know, you know, ancient healing modalities. There's so many of them. I don't even know which one to talk about. There are lots, but um, more of those kinds of things to heal as opposed to even natural ways of healing. But more of that than going to like the doctor or something like that. Um, This could be issues with the need to be in a relationship. Do you want to be in a relationship? Do you not want to be in a relationship? If so, what does it look like? How do you want to feel? You know, um, People might want to be free. It's springtime. Y'all already know how this shit goes. Cuffing season, niggas get in relationships just to have somebody to cuff. Now it's springtime. They start acting up. They gotta start a fight because the sun's about to come out, and all the half-ass women are gonna be out there, and I want to touch some booty. That was so wrong, but this is real life. Like it really happens that way for a lot of people, unfortunately. And so this could be coming up in some way, shape, or form that you want freedom now all of a sudden. This could also be like working on personal development. Um, is the relationship serving you? Having a meaningful relationship. But do you want to put in the work? Redefining commitment and your beliefs around that. A lot of mirroring with Pisces energy when it comes to relationships. We're going to see for sure. It's going to be very interesting. But look at it as, these are the times where you look at relationships and you're like, okay, if that's what you're attracting, then that's how you really feel. So if you're attracting something that you're like, that's not what the fuck I want to bitch, then release, let go, do the healing work, address the things that you don't like about what is coming towards you, heal from it. Um, and the moment you deny what's coming towards you, you'll go through an automatic point of isolation, right? If you're not getting the results that you want in a relationship and you break it off, you've cut a cord. And so, oh, wait a minute, guys. Sorry for all the. Hold on. Okay, my bad, y'all. So sorry. I'm so sorry. And so this could be a lot of questioning about the people that you're attracting, but noticing that and cutting that off, you cut a cord. And as soon as you cut that cord off, you've changed the the energy that you're attracting or bringing in or that you don't want, and separate from that, and then don't accept it anymore. Address it, heal from it, write stuff down, be intentional with the work that you're doing around these things that are coming up for you right now so that you can heal it, release it, let it go. And it's not to say that you're never going to attract it again, but once you keep saying, nope, that's not what I want, that's not what I want, that's not what I want, eventually that energy is going to shift. Um, this could also be revolutionary art and music. Ooh. So Pisces is definitely good R&B music. Here's hoping. I'm not too optimistic. I'm mad I got excited. Maybe you're going back to your old tracks, your old R&B and listening to that. That would be a really good way to deal with this time. This could also be like progressive ideas in medical and finances, downloads on fleek. liberating yourself from drama, helping others in a disaster, protesting, breaking free from restrictions, and rebelling against authority. This could be innovative solutions, kinky sex, scams, criminal activity, scientific breakthroughs, and things that feel familiar. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to do Venus and Pisces, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Right on the heels of the Aries thing, we bringing in some really good relationship energy if you're doing the work. So as usual, family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.